So this is called putting in a lifeline, and it's to take the stitches off the needle so you can see how large the shawl is. So you take just a regular needle with knitting wool on it, and you start running it through the stitches. And if they fall off the needle, that's fine because they're now on this other color thread. And because I'm not really watching my needle, I'm trying to watch the video, it's not really working real well. So I'm going to try and keep everything on the video, but still take the stitches off. So I'm putting them closer to the needle point, and I'm just going to slide them off as I go. So bring it back over here so you can see. And there we go, we got the rhythm. All right, so I'm just going to continue doing this. And there's no way for me to speed it up because I don't know how to do that on these computers. So I guess you can just fast forward to the end. And once my needle gets a little bit full, I just start sliding it through. And my thread is really, really long, so these stitches are not going to fall off the needle thread. Even if I pull it out, I don't think, because it's probably, I think the thread is like 6 feet long, if not longer. It's pretty long. And I think I have something like 230 stitches on the needle, 229. And sometimes you can get fancy and get like 2 or 3 stitches on the needle and pull them all off. And sometimes if you want to leave them on the needle and just run the needle and the thread through and just leave the stitches on, you can do that too. I just kind of worry about maybe missing the stitch itself and like splitting the stitch on the needle, on the knitting needle, with the sewing needle splitting the stitch, and then it would get wonky. So if I take the stitches off the needle as I go, I know that I haven't split a stitch, split the yarn. All right, so I'm going to come up on halfway here. It's taken a while. Some excess there. Oh, and this is called the Lifeline. And it's usually used in shawls, especially lacy shawls, when you don't want to lose. If you lose your count or you tend to be afraid you're going to make mistakes, you put in the Lifeline. When you get to a specific line of your pattern that you know is easy enough to catch up with. So usually, if the back is all a knit pattern and it's at the beginning of the lace increases, that's a good place to put it. But yeah, it's just running the needle through the stitches, and then you can always rip out all the way back to this Lifeline and not worry about dropping stitches because they're all on the Lifeline. All right, so, oops, did you see that? I almost split it. Tell you, whoever designed the Apple tablet, they were very smart. I've just got it sitting up on its lean-to thing, and I'm able to record it as it goes. It's just very interesting that somebody was ingenious enough to think about all this before they sold it. It's like they tested out the product before they sold it. All right, so I'm going to pull a little bit this through because it's getting very tight. All right, so my needle is there it is. All the yarn's back up on the needle now. Oops, split that one, fix it. All right, so the reason I'm doing this is because I don't know if I am making it too wide, because some of the times these shawls get some really long wings, and they're still not long enough in the back because I'm a tall girl. Which means I should need the wings because I have long arms as well. But I've done one of these before that I wanted it to be really long in the back, and it turned out to be it was crazy long in the wings. It hung down to my knees. So, trying to nip that in the bud. And we're coming up to the end. It's like 5 stitches left. 1, 2, 3, 4. I lied. 4 stitches left. Okay, so there we are. All the stitches are now off the knitting needles. I'm taking it off the yarn needle. And I'm going to place the computer tablet over to the side so now I can hang out the shawl for you to see. So there's my dog. And it's going to be a minute because I need to stretch this out a bit over the thread that it's on, just so it's, you know, laying flat. And there is indeed plenty of thread, but boy, it's close. So 6 feet, it probably wouldn't have hurt to be a little longer. So anyway, keep in mind that the thread is going through the triangle at the bottom, and I have no idea what you can see because it is just me here. So the distance of the V and then the length from the neck to the point is not as long as the wings. So this is not an equilateral triangle at any point. It's more obtuse. So I guess I'll see what I showed. In fact, I'm just going to lay it on the floor because then I can see what I'm doing now, other than trying to figure this out. So there you have it. The thread is going through from the left-hand side down to the point, back up to the right-hand side. And that is how long it will be. And now I can try it on and see if I want to keep increasing. And if I do, I just take the stitches and put them back on the needle because the thread is holding the stitches. There you go.